everyone, this is my finale for the 2020 Vision Project Pan. This was an 18-month project started by Cookie Pans on Instagram. The premise of the project was so that you could work through some of your items that were a little bit bigger, a little bit harder to get through, that needed a little bit more time. So instead of a year, it was 18 months, so a year and a half. And you chose 20 beauty products and 20 makeup products, and you worked through these items to get through to 2020. I really loved the idea. I started in about October, so I started a couple months late, and some of my items were very ambitious, naive. I was such a new panner when I started that I was very naive in thinking that I would be able to finish these things. So to start with, I finished a Lush soap, and this was a shea butter and coffee grounds exfoliating soap. I only used it 5 times before it was gone. The heat of the shower really melted the shea butter. I was super soft, but I'm not going to spend $8 on a soap that's only going to last 5 uses. Next was my Luann's coconut oil. I got this in the cooking aisle at Walmart, and I am just about here at the bottom of the L. When I first started using this, it was brand new, and I used it as an all-over rehydrating kind of a thing. And I would sit with it for several hours and then wash it out. I now use a little dropper that stays in the container, and I just run it through the ends of my hair. And I found that I like that better than sitting in coconut oil for several hours. I've used the coconut oil about 20 times according to my spreadsheet, which sounds about accurate. Next was my Coastal Scents Guyana Black African soap, and I was super naive to think that I was going to finish this in 18 months. My spreadsheet says I used it about 30 times, and you would not even be able to tell. Now, I've used this several times since the end of this project. Today is the 5th of January, and I have rolled this into another project, and I have been using this. My scale only goes up to 500 grams. I weighed this on my old scale, and it was 606 the last time I weighed it in November. But my new scale doesn't go up that high, and it's not under 500 grams, so I can't weigh this. So yeah, I have no idea how much this weighs, and I was very naive to think that I was going to finish this. But again, I was also using other cleansers. If I had used that in any kind of consistent manner, I think I would have made a much bigger dip. Next was my Olay facial wipes. I had 16 of those. I cut them into quarters and used 1 quarter on each eye for a while. The 5th item was the Neutrogena Night Face Wash, and I was really glad to see that one go. It was in the blue bottle. Towards the end of that, I started getting really uncomfortable breakouts, and I used that. My spreadsheet says about 20 times, but I think it was more than that, so I probably missed marking that several times. Green Tea Day Cream, excuse me. I bought this at TJ Maxx or Marshall's or one of those, which is not a great place to buy skincare because who knows how old that stuff is, but I did it anyway. And I'm about here. This was absolutely full when I got it. My spreadsheet says I used it 31 times specifically. And let me grab my notebook here. My spreadsheets, or my weight, says this started at 151 grams. It's now down to 136.95. I'm sure that most of that is the weight of the glass. It says it has 1.7 fluid ounces in it, so we'll see. But I found that this is too heavy for my skin. I don't need that much hydration. This is supposed to be a day cream. I was using it as a night cream, and I liked it much better that way. But I was not using this in a consistent manner. Again, if I were using it even once a week, I think I would have done much better. Sweet almond oil. Sweet almond oil. I used this all of 11 times in 14 months. I did not like the smell of this. I got this from somebody that I know, and I think they put a peppermint. I think they put some kind of like essential oil in it, peppermint something, but I don't like the smell of it, so I never reached for it. I used it to make lip balms, so if I ever make more lip balms, which will probably be quite some time because I have quite a few lip balms to get through, I will use that to make more lip balms. Almond hand cream. I panned a almond hand cream that was about this big. I got it from my sister for her bridesmaid's gift for her wedding. My spreadsheet says I used it about 11 times, but I think it was more than that. I'm pretty sure it was much more than that, but who knows? I may have fudged my spreadsheet. Who knows? The Pro Effects Apricot Oil. I'm about there, so I I can make another mark. This goes so slowly. So slowly. I use this pretty consistently, about once a week, every time I did my nails. I now have my nails done, so I'm not reaching for a nail polish or nail polish remover anymore, but I still use this mostly on my feet, and this is going to take me forever to get through. I don't know why I chose to buy such a large bottle. And my spreadsheet says I used that 47 times. Next 3 items were my Sugar and Spike Corpsicino items. And I have a lotion, a perfume, and a soap. I never used the soaps. Never used the soaps. The Corpsicino soap is downstairs in my bathroom, still wrapped, still on the shelf. I did not even bother to go get it. It smells so good, though. The smell of this is black espresso, toasted hazelnuts, and pumpkin brulee, and it just smells so good, and I absolutely loved this as a lotion. This is going to go right back to work, and I'm going to continue to work on this. I actually think I have a lotion at work right now, so maybe I'll wait and roll this into a different project. The perfume started under the cap. It's now down to, I don't know, about this S. I used this quite 25-ish times. Oh, it smells so good. I'm pretty sure that some of this is leaked out, but it smells so good. So good. And I was really sad to see that it was a seasonal smell, so I can't even get any more. But I absolutely would. The Toxic Tart, which is pie crust, nutmeg, apple butter, cinnamon, pumpkin, and golden amber. I don't love this one as much as the other. It still smells good. It's more of a cinnamon apple smell, which is not my favorite. I used this perfume 3 times, according to my spreadsheet, which sounds about accurate. I never used the lotion. It's still wrapped in plastic. And I never used the soap, which is also still wrapped in plastic somewhere. But I have every intention of using those. I just was really naive in how quickly I thought I was going to get through that. I had planned to use the Corpsicino in October. I was going to use the Toxic Tart in November, and it was going to be in and out, no problem. No. So the last 3 items for my beauty are my 3 oils. And I actually put a pretty good dent in the Kale and Vitamin C. This was my last, this was this one. And then I don't think I used this one since the last update, but I don't know. I don't remember when I marked these. I don't remember if I marked these recently, but I do know that I used several of these in the last couple of months because my wonderful stepson gave me lice, which is really embarrassing to admit, but I put oil on my scalp. I didn't know it was lice at first. I thought I just was itchy because I was, I've been doing really strange things to my hair. And then it took 2 or 3 weeks to get rid of, so I was super itchy, so I was using oils, and so that's how I was getting through those. I love children. No, I love my stepson. He's just, we didn't know, and so it is what it is, but that's how I used those oils, is a way to combat the how itchy I was from the louse. And I did finally get rid of that. Yay for bleaching my hair and treating it and dyeing it and all those things, because that's really what got rid of it. I treated it, I was still itchy, and then I bleached my hair, and then it was over. But I spent hours combing my hair. I think 6 hours altogether combing my hair over 2 or 3 days. But yeah, that's how I use those oils. The Kaolin Vitamin C, my spreadsheet says I used it 34 times over the course of this. And then the other 2 were 3 and 2, which is not true. But I don't think I marked it the last 6 months of the project at all. So my makeup products. I finished the Too Faced Shadow Insurance sample. My 3 lip tars will get updated in my lip service finale. The Strawberry Milk is almost done. This will go right back into my makeup basket, and it will go with me every day because I've got so many of those. I just take them all with me in whatever color I decide to do for the day. That's what I put on my eyes. The eye trio from Ipsy, down to the final color. I did really well with this. I'm really happy with this. I did Franken this, and it is going in another project, so I was really happy with the way this turned out. Wet n Wild Brulee, never touched it. My spreadsheet says I used it twice. I put it away from my inventory, never touched it again. My Physicians Formula Translucent Setting Powder, I Frankened that. It went into my absolute humongous, it's the size of my hand, Franken. This is full of powder. So that is in there. It is not done. This will probably never be finished. I put small amounts in a tin, and I use small amounts, and I love red, obviously. But that's my embarrassing Franken shadow. So that I used a total of 9 times before I Frankened it. My NARS Orgasm sample took 10 uses because I used it as I think an inner corner highlight. And it was just a little paper sample. Lip scrub. My spreadsheet says I used this all of 4 times, which is probably accurate. I actually use this more as like a hand exfoliator than a lip exfoliator because it's got the Vaseline base and I don't like that. Birthday Suit. I really love this, but I have Frankened it with one of my lip tars. It's got the Techno Pagan. And it's now this very sheer purple, dead purple color. I'm sure Amanda D would absolutely love this color. But I do. I really like the dead purple kind of look. Where was I? Birthday Suit. Here. It says I only used that 9 times. I did use that more in December than any other time of the year. My Happy Booster Blush, which, right next to me. I use this almost every day as a transition color. I'm using it today. I have made some pretty good progress here in this section. And I really like this as a transition color. I will continue to use this. This is going to go right back in my makeup basket, even though I have not put this in another project. I don't use this as a blush. This is purely a transition color, and it will continue to be a transition color until I dye my hair a different color. And then all of my reds will probably be over. And my spreadsheet says I used that 76 times, which is probably accurate. But I use that a lot. I'm pretty sure I missed marking that somewhere because I was so sure that every time I used that Strawberry Milk, I used the Happy Booster Blush, but who knows. My Bamboo Bronzer here says I only used it 6 times. I think I used that as a transition color a couple of times. Have no idea. Don't remember ever using that. I must have. Barely Branded. I had such high hopes for this. I was going to use this as a base. I was going to, you know, it's a beautiful beigey cream color, but I only used this about 6 times. I just did not reach for it. Most often I used it as an inner corner highlight. I would just stick the bottom of a brush in it, pop it in my inner corner, because I usually have long nails, and getting my finger into that is much harder than it appears. My e.l.f. powder. Here is the finale for my e.l.f. powder. I did expand the dip a little. When I first started, this was just a pinprick. My spreadsheet says I used that about 40 times, which sounds about accurate. Anytime I did a cool tone look, I would reach for this over the Happy Booster blush. And I really like that as a transition color. I did not use it as a brow powder very often, but it did happen a time or two. My highlighter in Sin. I did not get a decent dip in it. It's got a small dip in it, but I used a fan brush, so I was swirling it all around, so there's not a huge dip. I did use that quite a bit. My spreadsheet says I used it about 35 times. I would forget to put highlighter on. I don't have highlighter on today. I forgot to put it on, and it's just one of those things that I forgot to do. I forgot. So my next item, third from last. No, this will be my last product. This is originally I had an Estee Lauder quad in this project, and I used that about 14 times. And then when I dyed my hair pink, I started using this, and I only used this about 16 times, but I've got a good dip going there in the middle. Pretty happy with that. If I ever dye my hair red again, I will definitely use this as a brow product. I tried using this as a brow product with my red hair, but it just looks a little off. I probably will do it a time or two, but I'm going to try and use this as a base and see how I like that and go from there. But I do have 3 lip tars, but that will get updated in my Lip Service project pan because I have not weighed them, so I have no idea how they've changed. Yeah, so thank you for spending quite a few minutes with me, and I've tried 4 or 5 times to record this video, and it seems like every time I sat down to film this, something else happened. So thank you for sitting through and spending a few minutes of your day with me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.